Well, I asked you it when everything started for training camp. I'll ask you again, just to be standing here, getting ready, and knowing when you go behind a bench tonight, it'll be as a head coach again, and just how's that going to feel for you personally?
Excited. I've enjoyed, I enjoy the opportunity. I've really enjoyed our guys, our group. So it's been a fun group to coach. It's been a really fun group to as a staff to kind of start to bond a little bit. And so it's exciting. It's exciting for our team. I'm certainly excited. And the one thing that I said to myself, comparative to maybe my first job, is make sure you enjoy the moments more, and this is what we love to do, and life goes by fast, so let's make sure we're enjoying it.
Did you find that was a challenge sometimes in your first job because there's just so much on you?
Yeah, I think there's times when you don't enjoy it as much as you should enjoy it, and certainly comfortable right now, just really kind of taking the time to make sure that you savor the different moments, and so excited for that for sure. I mean, this is about our team, but definitely excited to be back, and especially with this group.
Did you still expect Vlasic to sit out tonight?
Yeah, Vlas will be out tonight. Yep, Vlas will be out tonight. Hopefully Boston.
With Levshunov, is there anything you learned through camp of just how to coach him, how he needs to learn, or just kind of the process with him?
Yeah, he's a very, very young guy who moved away from home at a very young age, then moved over here at a very young age. And I just put myself, my son's 19, goes to college at Ole Miss. Like, if we throw him into Moscow, like, how is that going to go? You know what I mean? So, I think you have to keep your standards high, but have empathy for, the background and the understanding of, there's a language barrier. There's he's just young, and so I've really, really, really enjoyed him as a person. He wants to do a good job. I think him and I have had a good rapport. We have fun together, but I can also be hard on him, and he's actually a guy who I think accepts that kind of coaching and has played very, very well when those moments have happened. So, he's just like the rest of our team, and certainly our young guys. The purpose is to keep growing, and so it's not going to just go, straight up. It's going to be ups and downs, and we're going to work through those together.
With him specifically, just I know you want to stay within your I guess your systems and all those things, but he seems to also thrive on instincts and sometimes taking that risk. Do you give him a little bit more leeway with a player like that?
Well, I would just say the whole game for me is risk reward. That's what the whole game of hockey is in what we're trying to learn is when to take a risk, and is the reward worth it, right? And certainly different players have different leashes for that. Not everybody has the same leash for that. It depends on what the reward looks like when you make those plays. I think for him, though, to be honest with you, I don't think he needs a lot of risk in his game to create offense. And I say that because where I think he's going to do a real good job helping to create offense. One is when he moves his feet on breakouts like he did in the Detroit exhibition, he helps set up the goal because he's such a big body. It's hard. He's a hard guy to check, and so just being a real good breakout guy there, but most importantly, he can really get pucks in from the offensive blue line, and that's how you get a lot of points as a defenseman, is finding ways to create those shots, tip opportunities, rebound opportunities, and I think he can do that, and there's almost zero risk in that. So I don't think he's necessarily going to be a guy who needs high risk, but every player is different, and we'll certainly treat him different.
You've seen the Panthers a lot over the last few years. They seem to revel in being the bad guys, playing the villain. What is it about them that kind of is so easy to get under other teams' skin?
Well, I'd just start by saying they're really, really good. They got a really, really good hockey team, and I think that's on display right now with some obviously unfortunate and key injuries to a couple of great players, but yet their lineup is still really, really deep. They have a good mix of skill and physicality and toughness. I think a mix that most teams would like to have. And then they play a certain brand. They're a forechecking team, and so they dump it in a lot, and they go get it a lot. And with that comes the physicality of the forecheck. I don't know if it's necessarily a matter of getting under skin or not getting under skin. I just think they play hard, they're physical, and the games become emotional because of it.
I guess what's the message going into, obviously not this roster specifically, but the team has visited opener season against Stanley Cup champs. I guess what's the message to the team going into an atmosphere like this?
Well, I just think for us, like we've put in a couple of hard weeks here, and we want to take steps forward. And I've said this a lot: you're either taking steps in the right direction or you're not. And so we want to take steps forwards. And then when you play really good teams, you get to kind of gauge and see where you're at. And I think it's the only way to get better is to kind of see where you're at, and then kind of regroup a little bit and decide what you need to work on, and then move forward with it. So it'll be a fun challenge. It's fun to be this early game. It's fun to kind of see them raise the banner. That brings an excitement to the opening game, and so it should be a real good challenge for us.
With Del Mastro in the lineup tonight, he kind of struggled in the preseason, but it worked out well for him. He gets to play tonight. What is your message to him?
He's a really good player. I think he did a really good job. The second half of last year, he brings size. I think he's got to be a guy who's a really good defender. He's got to be a guy who moves the puck up and gets our puck to the forwards. Him and I talked. I thought I didn't think his camp was bad. I didn't think it was great. I think it was fine. But he's got another level that I think he can get to, and won't surprise me to see him play real good tonight. He is a big body, and I think big bodies against real physical forechecking teams is important too.